Good morning, Tahmina Khan is here in TKMaths S1. In today's video, I'll explain to you a concept of normal distribution, which is a part of A-level mathematics S1, paper 6. And it is a question, sort of challenging question. I picked it up from J19, 6.1 question 7. So you can see on the top my blog address and my website address. Do visit it, you will find it very useful. There are my free videos and I'm offering other things also. So you will find it good in your learning process. So before we begin the question, I just want you to recall few things here. We know that normal distribution has parameters mu and variance, and this is the way it is written when we mention its distribution. It is a bell-shaped curve, symmetrical about mean. You can see the shape of the curve here. And the whole area under the curve from here till here, because it is considered minus infinity to plus infinity z values, right? So the whole area under the curve is 1. And when it is written phi z, it means probability of z less than z. There's no difference between them when we're talking about normal distribution, right? Because there is no area, if you say z equals to this, there is no area line under the line. So that's why whenever it is phi z, we mention it probability of z less than z. Okay. So let's see the question. This question is talking about adult female giraffe weight, normally distributed, mean 830, and standard deviation is 120. We will talk about one part of the question at a time. So just focus on first part. So normal distribution, mean and standard deviation is given to you. And if there are 430 adult female giraffe, you have to find the number of these female giraffes which have expected weight less than 700 kg, right? So only focus on this part. So total are 430 if they are in the reserve, game reserve, whatever it is. And you have to find the expected number of females have weight less than 700. So what we will do before I start doing anything, we will find out the probability of weight less than, probability of giraffe have weight less than 700 kg. And then I'll multiply it by 430 to find out that out of 430, how many have weight less than 700 kg, right? So now this distribution, I have already explained it to you or recalled you. So now my mean is 830. My standard deviation is 120. And this is what I have to find out. So this is what question 1 is about. Okay. So now let's see it. And you must remember when you change x into z, because you use z table, so you need to have z values, and we calculate x value with the help of this formula. Okay. So now here, when I'm changing this x value into z, I'm using this formula, x minus mu over standard deviation. X is 700, mean is 830, and standard deviation is 120. So when I calculate the value of z less than minus 1.083. Now if it is minus 1.083, visually on graph, this is the meaning of it. Now the table, z value table, which is given to you in the exam in Cambridge, in CAIE exam, does not have negative z value, right? Though it is there, but not the one which is given to you in the exam. So we use the symmetrical concept here. We know bell-shaped graph is a symmetrical graph. So what we will do here, we know that this blue area is equals to this red area, because whatever is your minus z, same is your plus z here on this side. Okay. So if we have to find out this probability, which is I'm representing by blue color, I will find out this red one. And how? When you read the z table, it always read the value of probability on the left hand side of that z value. So if I find out this white color here, the probability, and minus it from 1, I'll get this. Make sense? Because table always read the probability left hand side of the z value. So now that's why I'm doing 1 minus probability of z less than 1.083. Okay, so that's why this changed into this. Now I will read this probability from the table. I don't know how many of you remember the table, but I have drawn a part of it here. This represents first decimal place of the z value, second decimal place, and third decimal place. When you see the table, this side is first decimal place, this side has second decimal place, and this has third decimal place. So when you see first and second decimal place, it is 0.8599. Okay, so I've written 0.8599. But I will see the value written right underneath third decimal place, which is 7. So I have to add 7 into it. Do not press in calculator this plus this, you will get wrong answer. 7 is added in the last digit here in the probability, right? So 0.8606 is the probability of this portion, mean this white portion. So now I have to minus it from 1 to get it red, because this red is equals to blue because of the symmetrical concept. So I got 0.1394. So what was question saying? Question was saying the probability that weight is less than 700 kg. So this is the probability of that. But how many giraffes, adult giraffes were there, for which we have to find out that have weight less than 700 kg? There were 430 female adult giraffe, right? So I'm multiplying it and I get 59.9. So approximately 60 giraffe out of 430 have weight less than 700 kg. Now let's see part 2. It is given that 90% of the adult female giraffe have weight between 830 minus W and 830 plus W. And you know this was given to you. So you basically mean is 830. Okay. You have to find the value of W. So now if I express this question graph on the graph or the visual explanation of it, the meaning of the question is that in 830 you are adding plus W. So it will become 830 plus W. And you will minus W from 830. So it will become 830 minus W. And the probability in between is 90%. So this is the question given to you. You have to find what is this value of W. So now if I say the Z value here is A, then because of the symmetry, the Z value here will be minus A, right? So I know if in the center is 90%, why it is exactly in the center? Reason is I'm adding and subtracting the same number. W is representing a number. So it means because of symmetry, it is in the center. And 100% probability is right under the curve. So 100 minus 90 is 10. So that's why the remaining probability on either side is 5%, right? Now, so if I find out this value of A in terms of Z, I mean, okay? So I know the probability left hand side of this A is 95. 90 plus 5 is 95. So I'm writing here probability of Z less than A is 0.95, right? I have gotten this from the understanding of this diagram. Now, Z value, when you read the table against 0.95, I have told you how to read the table. So you can read the Z value is coming 1.645. So it means the Z value here is 1.645. Here it will be minus 1.645. We don't need to use both sides because W is same. So I will use only this side. So now I will use this formula. Now my Z is 1.645. My X will be 830 plus W. Mu will be 830 and standard deviation will be 120. So I will plug in these values here. Okay, so this I have just told you everything. So I'm plugging in the values now. You can see I have plugged in 830 plus W minus 830. So I'm just plugging in place of X and mu and this. So I got the value of W is what? 197.4. Okay. So in 3 significant figure, it will be 197. So this is the value of W you have calculated. Now let's see part 3. The weight of adult male giraffe. So far we were talking about female giraffes. Now normal distribution, mean is 1190, and standard deviation is sigma. So you have to find the value of sigma. What information is given to you is this, that 83.4% giraffes have weight more than 950, right? So I'm writing this information in the normal distribution form, and then graphically I'm just showing it to you. Okay, let me show you from here only so that it makes more sense. Okay, so question is saying that probability of male giraffe, I'm representing it by letter Y, greater than 950 is 83.4%, which is given here. So I have just written in the mathematical form the question, and now this is the visual form of it. Because I'm saying Y greater than 950, number one thing I know mean is 1190. So 950 will be on the left hand side. Okay. And I'm saying the probability of the right hand side, greater means right hand side. So probability is 83.4%. So that's why my Z is coming here, because this right hand side area has to be bigger, around 83%. You know, this line which is in the center, the mean line, it divide the graph equally into two parts, so 50%, 50%. Does this make sense? Why did I draw this line here? Because I'm saying the weight more than 950 is 83%. So the right hand side area has to be 83%, so big area. And second understanding is 950 weight will come on the left hand side of 1190, right? So after that, I'm changing it into Z form because we have to read the table. Now, X minus mu. Now this is my X, sorry, Y, because in this case it is my Y. Y minus mu. Mu is this, standard deviation is this. And probability I know. So now, when I simplify it, my answer comes, what my answer come of this side is? Minus 0.97. So tell me one thing here. Do you know this negative Z value here? You don't, because you don't have it in the table. So you will use symmetrical concept here. So for this minus Z, if I use symmetry plus Z, so left hand side area will be 0.834. Agreed? In this case, it is right hand side. Because of symmetry, it is left hand side. So when you will read the table for this Z value, you will get 0.97. So that's why in this Z value, we are writing minus 0.97. And then we are simply solving it, and we are getting it standard deviation 247.4. So this concept of minus plus confuses the students. So I would say do not learn formulae. There are formulae. Draw this rough sketch and try to understand. You will not make mistake then. Right? So thank you very much for watching this video. If you have learned it, something, press like and subscribe button, share it with your friends. And I hope if you visit my website and my blog address, you will find more useful videos. Take care. Allah Hafiz.